Hey guys! Now here back in the Smile little studio and we continue with my Norway painting. I start with the sky, so I wet the upper half of the painting and add some turquoise blue. Make sure to tilt the painting a little bit so that the colors flow downwards. I take off some of the color because I wanted to add the clouds there, so I don't want to have it completely blue. I mix my colors for the ground, which is out of turquoise blue and some lemon yellow, as well as some opera pink and some warm yellow. I have a small cottage there, so my field, fireweed field, is leading towards this cottage, and it helps with the composition with the focal point. I haven't wetted the lower half of the paper, so I have to work really fast. Remember to cover your white bits here if you don't need them as immediately. I have been a little bit careless with that and adding it while it has already dried. A bit yellow ochre for the warm color, and now I add more of a stronger colors to the painting in order to add some contrast. A stronger opera rose and a stronger green here as well. I mixed more green and I continue to add some background forest to frame the small cottage. I will add two different of shades, so one is a bit light in color as you can see, and then add a little bit of a darker here as well, so there is some contrast and you can see the horizon line more clearly. And it gives a little bit of a variety, so it doesn't look so boring and two-dimensional. I add a light brown and here onto the cottage. And now I want to mix the colors for the sky. So I use a little bit of indigo blue and some crimson red, as well as adding some of the yellow ochre because I want to have slightly grayish color. I wetted the sky again, and now I add the colors that I have mixed. They're very light in color, or very light in pigment at first, and then I start to build up by adding more of a darker shade, more color with more pigments. If you feel that the sky has too many, or that the clouds have too many hard edges, then use a bigger brush and just spread the color. I added too much of a blue, but I was still able to spread it. And partly I'm spreading the water above, that now I can add more of clouds. And you can see here as well that the clouds are following, going into the direction of the cottage. I mixed more of the brown. I use the same colors as for the cloud, but I make sure that it's very strong in pigment, and adding the wooden panels to the roof as well as to the sides of the house or the cottage, and emphasize some of the edges around the horizon line. So now just really focusing onto the contrast and adding a few details. Obviously the lower part has dried already, so it's much more easier to add contrast there. Now a little more flowers. And then here to the top. But not too much, so it doesn't feel overwhelming. I felt that the roof was a bit too white, so adding more showers there. And onto the field a light layer of grey. It's kind of giving the idea of shadows. But yes, and that was it. So thank you for watching and bye.